Warning, this build is extremely expensive because my weapon has 7 Radiant Voltaic Shards. And you're probably wondering, hey No Lifer, how did you get 7 Voltaic Shards in your weapon? Well, it's really simple. So, funny story, I was applying Radiant Voltaic Shards via brute force method because I'm not farming all that gold, and I somehow managed to apply 5 of those Radiant Voltaic Shards in a row. So I just had like extremely good RNG, probably lottery RNG. The chance for that is so fucking low, I was honestly surprised. And then the last 2, I brute forced with gold. Basically, if you pay 75k, you can guarantee yourself a Voltaic applied. For Soldier, you don't need that many soul points. You only need defense tree, the middle, and the left part. You can max the defense tree if you're going to the main Saint and not going any DPS classes, so it's really cheap soul point wise. Piercing Gaze bypasses some cursed anti-heal which stacks with your Blessed Blight Ring. And then the right side, you want the One for All to increase your healing, which is really good. And then the bottom half for the cleanse proficiency, so you can make your cleanse better. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So now I'll be explaining why 7 Radiant Voltaic Shards is very useful for your build. Basically, you are a support class, and everything hinges on your ability to gain energy consistently. The best way to consistently gain energy is 7 Voltaic Shards, Radiant Voltaics. They have a higher chance of Pierce. As you can see, the Holy Grace, if you trigger your Narthana Sigil and damage an enemy, you can gain energy from your Voltaic Shards, and the better rarity it is, the higher chance. And then next, we have Mulligan Realm from Damino's race. It increases my healing by a lot. And then for the Life Song, I can give us more healing. It's obvious it's the healing enchant. And then next, we have Ice Spears. Ice Spear is good because there's a small chance on any of your attacks to apply Frost. Frost will make enemies have longer cooldowns, so you want enemies who have longer cooldowns on all their stuff, especially MV's ultimate. If you can increase the cooldown on that with the frosted debuff, you are being a top tier support. Also, look at how fast I am using high energy moves without the use of meditating. This should show the insane power of 7 Radiant Voltaic Shards as a support. As a support, your ability to use expensive abilities to help your teammates out is integral. If you do not have the energy to do anything, you are a useless support. Anyways, you can use 7 pure Voltaics if you cannot afford the Radiance, but I would recommend to aim for this in the long run because it'll be extremely good investment for your Saint build. If you can pull off 7 Radiant Voltaics, you basically never have to meditate, or like you won't have to meditate very often because you'll be getting, your energy will be so consistent from just attacking, and because when you attack you have a small chance to inflict frost, it is more rewarding to gain energy from attacking and have a small chance to inflict frost rather than meditating, lowering your defenses, and taking more damage from that. And also the reconstruction skill, it's pretty useful. It increases regeneration, but I honestly wouldn't recommend using it that often unless someone's like extremely low, because for the energy cost I could have used like Holy Grace, which is just a superior move, and obviously you want Lost Scroll is Breath of Fungir. An excellent alternative to Damino's race is Nissi race, however you pronounce it. It has a move where you gain extreme amounts of energy at will at that instantaneous moment, meaning if you have energy issues with Saint, Nissi is an extremely viable alternative. You still need to have good cooperation even with this build if you want to help out your teammates with the uses of self-care and stuff like that. If you're a solo Saint and there's no second Saint to help you, I still recommend bringing a Paladin along to guarantee to proc Narthana Sigil right after an ultimate, because your healing will be down 50% and you'll need that Paladin user to help you trigger Narthana Sigil. And as for Ice Shards, you can when in phase 1, when he's about to run out of wings, you should use Ice Shards if he is like 3 or more energy, because he's most likely going to use Oblivion, or 2 or more energy. But I find that when he's at 2 energy and no wings, he's less likely to use Oblivion than at 3 or above energy, which is almost guaranteed. Landing Ice Shards before Oblivion will ensure that his cooldowns are extremely delayed to the point where even if you fuck up a lot or like mess up a lot, you can still manage to heal back your team to full. And then for the Lost Scroll combo, you can use Wind Barrier as I have right here, and then pop Fungear. This will allow allow you to like deflect most of his attacks. Make sure you only do this tech after he has used the multi Shadebringers that inflict 3 hex, and make sure your cursed is less than 2, because his hex ren can sometimes go through the wind barrier and give you 1 curse, which is why you only want less than 2 curse if you use that tech. As for Holy Grace, always use it on the paladin if you can. To make sure your other teammates will get healing if they have insane amounts of curse, make sure they like play smart with their energy and use self-care. As you can see, there are there's almost no moment where I don't have enough energy to use something because of the 7 Voltaic Radiance, and I only meditated like 2 times this run. Another tech to deal with Oblivion's heal down is to conserve your energy, like not like how I'm playing. You should play more conservative, and you should save your Mulligan Realm right before his ultimate if your Ice Shards are on cooldown. This way, you can kind of counteract the healing down by Holy Gracing during the Mulligan Realm, which increases your healing. So that way, you can heal your teammates for more, and it'll make the run a little bit easier. Something else I noticed is that the DOTs deal less damage as the battle goes on. I think it may be a percentage of his health instead of a percentage of his max health. I'm not really sure. But as you can see, when you trigger Nardana's Sigil, you gain like 20 defense buffs. You're basically immortal during this period, and you can do whatever you want. Basically, you have Serpent Strike, Ice Shards, Holy Grace, and then the Cleanse. The Cleanse, I did not really use this run because I didn't really need to, but I would only cleanse if someone is like needs a cleanse and cannot self-kill, or if it's on a massive cooldown and they are an integral player. Additionally, other Lost Scroll options, if you think you're good enough to not need Lost Breath of Fungear, is Heavenly Prayer. Heavenly Prayer will make it so that you can help out your Berserkers stay at low HP and not need to heal them at all, because it'll give them 2 turns of Mulligan, allowing them to nuke. For this run, we had a DOT and damage, which is thankfully we had them, otherwise this run probably would have taken like over 50 minutes. The reason why I did not record a faster run is because I just wanted to show this stall comp, and because I don't want to show anything excessively fast. Otherwise, the devs are gonna nerf it. If you know, you know. Anyways, yeah, that's basically it. That's a guide for Saint. Basically, bring a paladin if you want to do MV. If you don't want to have a hellish time. Yes, you can trigger Grace on yourself for Nardana's Sigil. However, you may not be able to do this during the heal down because it's 50% less healing, which is why you want a paladin. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy.